Welcome to my show. I'm a guest here. Her name is Kaya Bell. Mrs. Kaya, how are you doing, ma?
I'm very good, thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Kaya. Firstly, you are the founder of Closing Loops Coaching, and you're also a coach. You have some coaching career. Can you please, ma, discuss more about yourself and how you're doing currently now, ma?
Absolutely. So I live in Perth, Western Australia. I am the owner of Closing Loops Coaching. And firstly, I'm absolutely thrilled to be here today. I'm a self empowerment coach and I'm on a mission to inspire individuals to unlock their full potential and try and transform their lives. With a unique blend of personal experience and professional training in life coaching, NLP, and hypnosis, I've seen firsthand how these powerful tools can heal the mind, body, and soul. So I'm hoping today, through this conversation today, I'll be able to share knowledge and information that will empower your listeners to cultivate a mindset for success. And together we'll explore some NLP and hypnosis and give you ideas on growth, understanding of how your emotions can heal your body and you can live the best life of which you dream.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Kaya. And under hypnosis or from the personal experience you've had over the years, have you written any book or are you planning to write any book in the coming future, ma?
I may write a book in the future on how the journey I have taken in self development and how I was impacted hugely on the deaths of four people very close to me in 10 months, and how I delved into life coaching, NLP, and hypnosis to help me come out the other end to be who I am today.
All right. Thank you so much, Mrs. Kia. And when it comes to hypnosis, from your personal experience, I think it's also personally helped you promote your healing. I would like to ask Mrs. Kia, how do you think hypnosis and NLP work to promote healing and personal transformation?
So, hypnosis and NLP. So, NLP is short for Neuro-Linguistic Programming. So, that's basically how the brain is wired together and the language it uses. So, there's a really good book called The Body Keeps the Score. It's by Bessel van der Kelk, and it goes into a lot of depth on how negative emotions that we hold on to throughout our lives, like anger, guilt, hurt, pain, fear, and sadness, over the years will often start to poison our body and slowly create pain and often autoimmune diseases and sickness. It's a great book to have a read of to get some really good insight about how your body is being affected by your emotions. Now, hypnosis and NLP work is accessing the subconscious mind, or I like to say a filing cabinet of all our beliefs, patterns, habits, and emotions are all stored in there. And with the use of NLP and hypnosis, we're able to reorganize that filing cabinet and draw on the things that help us grow positively in the direction we want. Now, hypnosis induces a relaxed state, which allows individuals to be more open and positive, positive to suggestions and lifelong change. NLP uses language patterns to reframe and rewire thoughts and behaviors. This helps clients to alter their perceptions and responses. Now, the thing of using them both to heal in a positive way is that it often facilitates profound shift in mindset and emotional well-being. And these changes will make in ourselves often filter out for all the people that we meet, including kids, families, relationships, and they'll often impact them in the most positive way possible.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Kia. And there could be or there might be some type, I do not know, but some type of emotional or mental health challenges this hypnosis can address? If there is any, or probably it addresses all type of emotional or mental healing. What do you think, what type of emotional, if there is any, or mental health challenges can hypnosis, effectively address, ma?
So both modalities offer a huge range of changes. Mixed with self empowerment coaching or any form of coaching, it will often highlight where the client's strengths and values are that run through all of the decisions that we make in everyday life. Now, it's really important to remember that there's absolutely no quick fix through the journey of personal healing. The use of these modalities, as well as coaching, often give client the tools to handle the negative emotions at times easier than they normally currently would. So, for instance, if you deal with anxiety, there's tools within NLP that you can do, not necessarily through breath work, but just through a process which will instantly reduce that anxiety at the time and flip it or reframe it to something of a more positive emotion for your body to be dealing with. Now, through hypnosis, we will often give suggestions. So, for instance, we might say at times of anxiety, take 3 deep breaths, or at times of stress, take 3 deep breaths. Now, we'll say that to the subconscious mind. And at time of stress, your subconscious mind will automatically just start the breathing to relax and slow down the anxiety. Now, these modalities are really good for addressing challenges, including anxiety, phobias, stress, even people who have trouble sleeping, depression, low self esteem, and of course, the known habits like smoking, weight loss, addictions. A lot of your athletes nowadays use hypnosis and NLP both to actually help them enhance performance in their sports and also give them confidence and just move negative self belief and mental blocks that they may have of their ability to perform at that elite level.
That's very, very great. Thank you so much, Mrs. Kia. And there could be some type of technique you do use for clients when they come to seek probably advice when it comes to healing through hypnosis. What do you think are some key technique you use to help clients to probably overcome mental blocks? Maybe they are not thinking well, or fears, ma.
So if we've got the subconscious mind is influences our physical health through stress responses, emotional well-being, even the immune system and functions. So through hypnosis, we can start to relieve some of those stress symptoms that the body is holding on to. For instance, there's a direct correlation for stress that people who internalize stress will have a lot of gut issues and stomach issues and bowel issues. That's just through the stress that they're withholding in their body. Now, the physical healing that happens when we start to release these energies that have got a hold on us for many, many years, often they start at childhood, where the body is able to start healing and start releasing it. I've even had individuals who have gone through NLP clearings, like emotional clearings, or people who have caused massive mental trauma, even PTSD in their younger lives, will go through a clearing. And I had one client that literally spent 2 days on the toilet because her body was just getting rid of all that negative emotion and just basically draining the waste out of her body. Um, and after that, she said she hasn't felt so good in years.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Kia. That's a very, very great and inspiring story. And some people could also be wondering, what can I possibly expect? Probably, if I want to seek probably more advice or probably a session when it comes to NLP and hypnosis, what can I be expecting? So I would like to ask Mrs. Kia, what do you think clients can expect during and after a hypnosis or NLP session?
So during a session, clients can expect to be safe, 100% supported in the environments. The practitioner will hold space for them generally and allow the client to say everything that needs to be said, and possibly shed healing tears, as they've often held on to these emotions for years and years and years. And the feeling and sense of internal relief, how they often release tears and become quite emotional. Now, it's very important that they understand that this is a part of the process and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Um, Most of the techniques for NLP are actually guided with visualization and relaxation. Hypnosis, often the client doesn't remember the process. They go into such a relaxed state that they don't remember what's going on, however, time does continue to go. Um, and funnily enough, that night they will have an amazing sleep when they come out of trance. They get on with their day, but that night, reports of a really good sleep and improved sleep patterns after that. Now, a lot of these processes can take a few days, 2 to 3 days, to actually integrate. And for instance, one of my clients, only a couple of weeks ago, she wanted to declutter her house. Now, through hypnosis, we did a session, and she hadn't decluttered her house in about 5 years. Like, she couldn't even get into a few of the rooms. And I spoke to her this morning, and she had cleaned out 3 rooms. She said she didn't understand why, but she just felt this need to do it. Part of the hypnosis suggestions was for her to start decluttering her house room by room, little bit by little bit. Before she knew it, she'd actually be finished. Now, NLP clients will actually notice immediate changes in the emotion of that specific situation, or the negative impact that that person has had on them, to a point where they will normally go in and see this person and feel that this anxiety or frustration or something building inside them, just like that bubbles and the anxiety. And it'll be like there's a big brick wall, there's nothing there, there's no emotion. So NLP works very, very fast on that sort of thing. And that also integrates over 2 or 3 days to have more changes happen, which is fantastic how fast it works.
Mm, it really, really works very fast. Even I'm even thinking hypnosis is going to be a very, very great thing. And there will also be, some possible misconception, if there is any, that, people could be saying about hypnosis. What do you think are the most common misconception about hypnosis, hypnosis people say, and what do you probably think is the reality to this misconception?
So, the most common thing that people think about hypnosis, which unfortunately is because they've seen stage hypnosis or on TV, that it's all woo woo stuff and crazy stuff, and people they lose control of their mind and they run around stage clucking like chicken. This is stage hypnosis. When used in the right form of hypnosis, the reality is that if you don't want to be hypnotized, then you won't be hypnotized. It's something that you actually need to want to do. And individuals remain 100% in control and can actually reject any suggestions that they actually don't agree with as well. Another myth is that hypnosis is only for entertainment. Um, it's actually so powerful for healing and the clinical side of it has been known to people have been through dental pulling out teeth and dental procedures under hypnosis with no pain. People have also had operations. Originally, it started back in the war where they ran out of anesthetic and they ended up using forms of hypnosis to perform some of the surgeries that needed to be performed. Um, there's actually another side of hypnosis that's timeline therapy, which has had massive transformations in soldiers with PTSD and helping them to alleviate PTSD and live a normal life.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Kia. As you said, it's a matter of choice. You could decide what you want to do with the hypnosis, and you could also decide if you want to go for it or not. Thank you so much, Mrs. Kia. And lastly, Ma, some people would definitely be interested in probably learning or knowing more about hypnosis or NLP. What advice do you think you could give to someone interested in learning hypnosis or NLP, Ma?
So, the biggest advice I have for anyone who wants to go down this line is a good hypnotherapist, a good NLP, a good coach is someone who is willing to step up and do these processes themselves. So they need to find which way they learn the best. Then find an accredited organisation that will support that way of learning. For instance, I personally learn face to face the best. So the company I seeked out was provided face to face training, and they were also accredited and they were with national recognised organisations. Unfortunately, these days it's too easy to get your $7 online courses. I would highly discourage anyone who wants to practice to go down that line. The reason being that most of your NLP and hypnosis is learnt by interactions and performing of these modalities, using them and seeing how they benefit. Unfortunately, online reading doesn't give you the practical experience, but there is a lot of organisations that will support the training properly. But I highly recommend finding an accredited organisation that's with one of the national governing bodies as well.
Hmm. That's a very, very great advice, Mrs. Kia. Thank you so much, Mrs. Kia. And personally, there's a question I normally ask Mrs. Kia. From the ancestors, from the forefathers, there are a lot of things that do exist during our ancestral time that is missing in our time today. If there is anyone or anything you would like to bring back to our time today, what do you think that thing would be, ma'am?
I think the thing that we really need to bring back to our time is non judgmental and accepting people for who they are, accepting people for the differences they are, and also not everything is learnt on scientific evidence, not everything is learnt out of a book. There's a lot of things that help different people that have a profound change in people, and I think we need to be more open to different ways of learning, and not one way is the right way. For instance, a lot of people will knock the life coaching and NLP and hypnosis, go, oh, it's all woo woo. Well, it works for a lot of people, and why write something off that works for someone else just because it doesn't work for you? So I think we need to be more open to these different modalities that have actually been around for many, many years. And we have a lot of science based professors and doctors that also have a huge direction in growing this industry to become more known of its benefits.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Kia. I also personally agree with you. We also have to try our best to, probably give ourselves the type of respect we do need. Even to the point some people, will probably think, I can change this person, I can do this. We could just have to know who this person is. And, we just have to know how to accept and know how to, employ his or ourselves to deal with such person. And in the world we are today, we personally hope and believe that more great things and other great things that, have existed during our ancestral time will come back and make, this world to become a better place tomorrow. I want to sincerely thank you on speaking on hypnosis and even the NLP. Thank you so much, Mrs. Kia.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. It's actually a passion that I love to speak about it because I, again, have dealt with it firsthand. If you like, I'll just quickly tell a little story. I was going through my training, and only the week before, I had actually lost my mother, who was my everything, my best friend. And I truly don't believe I would have managed to finish my course in under 12 months with losing my mother, my nana, a best friend, and another best friend in 10 months without the use of this NLP and hypnosis to help me heal through the process. And I hear people who have grieved for years and years, and I've been able to offer this amazing release for them through grief clearing, for them to actually move on in life and have those healing tears and be able to move through. So, if anyone is thinking about doing it or looking for a way to move on in their life, I highly recommend one of these modalities to just grow within yourself.
Mm, that's very touching. It's definitely not easy. Some people who have lose, probably their mother very early are the ones that will know how, important a mother is. Thank you so much, Mrs. Kia. Have a wonderful day, ma. Bye.
Thank you very much.